Mr. Fan. Good evening. I'm going to call to order the Carver Redevelopment Authority meeting for Tuesday, September 24th, 2019. You'll see on the agenda, we only have one thing: a vote on an order of taking to acquire a temporary easement for access, inspection, and assessment of the property located at 18 Montello Street, map 22-3-1-R in Carver. Let me read the notice into the record. Notice of the meeting of the Carver Redevelopment Authority relative to the taking of a temporary easement at 18 Montello Street, Carver. Please be advised that the Board of Carver Redevelopment Authority will hold a meeting at 5:30 p.m. on September 24th, 2019 at Town Hall, room number 3, Carver, Massachusetts, pursuant to the authority of the provisions of Chapter 121B, Section 11D, Chapter 121B, Section 46F, as in Frank, and Chapter 79 of the General Laws, to consider the acquisition by eminent domain of a temporary easement for the purpose of access in conducting inspections and assessments at the property located at 18 Montello Street, Carver, described in the deed recorded with the Plymouth Registry of Deeds in Book 21323, page 181, Assessors Map 22-3-1-R, Carver Redevelopment Authority. You will see in your packets the Commonwealth order of taking. With us tonight is the owner of the property, David Borowski. If I mispronounced that, I apologize.
You got it.
I just want to put that in the record that he's here. I'll read into the record the order of taking for you. At a regular convened meeting of the Board of Carver Redevelopment Authority held the 24th day of September 2019, it was voted and ordered the Board of Carver Redevelopment Authority, the authority, duly authorized, qualified, and acting as such on behalf of the authority by the virtue of and in accordance with the authority of the provisions of Chapter 121B, Section 11D, Chapter 121B, Section 46F, and Chapter 79 of the General Laws, and of every other power of the authority which hereto in any way enabling does hereby take on behalf of the authority a temporary easement interest for the purpose set forth in below the following parcel of land located in Carver, Massachusetts, in parentheses, the property. A temporary easement upon the property for a period not to exceed 30 days from the commencement of the work at the property, excluding any time of the work property is interrupted through a cause or for a reason not under control of the authority, as further described below. The easement rights shall expire if the work is not commenced within 1 year from the date of the recording of this order. Said property is owned or supposed to be owned and or formerly owned by the following. Owner David C. Borowski. Property address 18 Montello Street, Carver, Massachusetts. Title reference, Plymouth County Registry of Deeds, Book 21323, page 181, Assessors Map 22-3-1-R. The purpose of the easement. The purpose of the easement is for access and egress by foot or by vehicle, including heavy vehicles in, over, under, through, across the property for purposes of A, conducting inspections and assessments, including but not limited to excavation, boring, digging, extracting, testing, assessing materials, specimens, or samples at test pits on the property, if any, to determine the nature and extent of any environmental matters that might adversely affect the authority's future ability to construct, permit, or operate redevelopment thereon. Said inspections or assessments not to include any necessary or required remediation of the property. B, surveying and visual inspections of the property. C, bringing equipment upon the property for such purposes, including placement and storage of equipment, earth and other materials used in and/or produced by said inspections and assessments. The amount ordered as damages sustained by the owner or owners of the property in accordance with the provisions of Mass General Law, Chapter 79, Section 6, and to any other persons or corporations have an interest therein is set forth on the attached Exhibit A, which is incorporated herein by references. No betterments are to be assessed under this taken. If in any instance the name of the owner is not correctly stated, the names of the supposed owners being given as of the order of taken, it is understood that in such instance the land reference to the owner, owned by the owner or owners unknown to us. Structures and facilities so located that are owned by private utility companies and easements held by private utility companies are not taken. Signature page to follow. On the signature page it has, in witness whereof we are duly authorized and qualified members of the Board of Carver Redevelopment Authority have hereunto set our hands and seal on this 24th day of September 2019. There's everybody's name on there. And then it has the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. It says when it's going to be done by, and it has to be notarized. Exhibit A for the owner, David C. Borowski, 57 River Street, Plymouth, Mass. 02360. Damages of $880 will be paid to him for that easement, temporary easement taken. So that is the document that's in front of you. Discussion.
So did you get a motion in a second?
I'll entertain a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded to sign the order of taking. Discussion. Excuse me. Discussion. Ms. Clark, do you have anything?
Do we have any idea what the scope of work that they're looking to do? Is this for, I mean, you list a lot of things there.
Yeah, there's,
I mean, is this like for a water test? Is this for parking?
it says in here,
Assess, you know.
it was all a big drawn out explanation
Okay.
of what could possibly be done to give us a better advisement of the conditions of the property.
And is this for appraisal value as well?
Yes.
Or, okay.
Mr. Chairman, I could probably just add a little color to that.
Yes, sir.
The purpose is for appraisal value because the appraisers have to go in assuming that the property is clean and free of all encumbrances, including clear title, blah, blah, blah. But they don't have the ability of going on the property and doing an inspection. So at that point, you bring on a surveyor to make sure that you've surveyed everything properly. You bring on an environmental person to do appropriate testing of the site to make sure there's no contamination on it. And you can do other type of perk tests and so forth as needed. Clearly, if there were some negative issues, that would impact the price, not that we anticipate any, but it's the final input that goes into the valuation of the appraisal is, are there any site conditions that would negatively impact the book value?
Okay. And is there any, like, EPA testing that they're looking at, or no?
To some extent, yeah, they'll be looking to see if there's any, oil drums.
Soil in.
Right.
Okay.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
To you. That's 7 acres?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Does a person live on that site?
No, there's no residential in that site.
No residential, just storing of materials and
equipment.
Equipment, okay.
30 days as of when? Today?
It's 30 days of when it's recorded. So you can vote it today. It may take us a few days to record it. Probably what we would end up doing is just making sure we got all the consultants lined up after your approval. And then once we know we got people lined up, then we'll start the 30-day clock and notify Mr. Barnitsky appropriately.
Okay.
And I think in the document it says it has to be done within a year.
Right.
But our intent is to move this forward in the next week or two.
Okay.
But you have 30 days from the date that you start.
The date you record.
The date you record it,
Correct.
then you have 30 days from that date.
From that point on. So your
Like
issue,
30 calendar days.
30 days,
Okay.
30 straight days.
So we sign, you record, the next day you can start
Correct.
whatever, okay?
Correct.
But it's not effective until recording date.
Correct.
Okay.
We're providing the authorization. It doesn't become official until it's recorded.
Okay.
You guys have anything else? The only thing that I had is I want to make sure that any of us consultants that we have go out to the property give due notice to Mr. Borowski. There's a 24-hour period, nobody can get on the property until he's duly notified and given 24 hours.
We'll make sure that that's incorporated with any of the agents we send out there to do that Mr. Barniski, and we have his email and cell phone number. We'll make sure that we communicate with him, because that was one of his concerns that he raised with me is, will I be able to use my property? And I said, yes, you'll be able to use your property, and we'll coordinate with you when that happens. But you don't have to leave your property. You can maintain your business as you normally do. There should be no impact to you, except that in a distance somewhere, there may be a person or two doing stuff on the property.
What would the hours be? Normal working hours?
I'm good at, yes, it would probably be a Monday through Friday, normal working hours, whether that's 8 to 5 or 7 to 4, or somewhere in there. And again, we would give you notice just so that you're aware of what's going to happen.
David, just for, because you're here, it's your property, do you have any input that you want to give towards this? I know Michael talked to you.
Yeah,
About this.
I mean, the hours were kind of a concern, and yeah, I mean, if they're gonna be digging holes, where would you be digging, it's basically raw land. The areas that I'm using are plain to see, so I mean, obviously I don't want test holes dug in roadways or parking lots that I'm using.
Yeah.
If you need to get at something that's in the way, obviously I can move it, but,
Okay.
And just doing that is that any type of soil probing or anything that they may do, we'll make sure that that's coordinated with you, and there's an obligation that if we take out a bucket of soil and we, do a test, we have to put that bucket of soil back as though it was originally there. And obviously, I think they would always try to avoid areas where it's going to potentially, like if you had an asphalt driveway that was fully paved, they're not going to test in the middle of the asphalt driveway. They would do something on the side where possible.
yeah.
But again, their obligation is to make sure that, this is a temporary action for up to 30 days. And at the end of those 30 days, it should appear as though there was never any activity on the property.
Okay.
Maybe take a few weeks for some grass to grow back, but other than that.
You okay?
Yeah.
Anything that you think of, just call us.
Okay.
You get a hold of Jim, he's our executive director, he'll be your liaison to get right through to me.
Okay.
You can have my cell phone number, you can call me if you have any headaches or whatever.
Okay.
Okay?
Very good.
Okay.
I'm going to also just guess that this is not going to be followed this week, because Jim needs a few days just to coordinate with everybody, so I don't foresee anything occurring this week.
Okay.
Any other discussion or questions? Hearing none, we have a motion and we have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Thank you. That was the only thing that we had on our agenda. The only thing that I want to get with you, Jim, is that as the appraisals come in for the next step, we want to get those up to DHCD so they're aware of where our progress and where our steps are. I don't want to delay any of that. Get that up there so that way if they see something that we can address ahead of time, we can take care of that. Okay?
That would, excuse me, Mr. Chairman, that would be multiple appraisals on that property?
We have two.
Two? Okay.
And again, this is no action, it's just that DHCD will review each individual appraisal to make sure it's complete, and then give the board the authorization, should you choose to vote, to go to the next step. They need to give you authorization to do that.
So if I could ask one more question, the multiple appraisals will be happening within that 30-day window?
We already have one, waiting for the second one to come in.
within that 30-day window.
Correct.
hopefully.
And should something be found out,
Yeah.
then they would have to come back and adjust their appraisals.
Okay.
So again, they go forward with the appraisals as though there's nothing there, but this step is to complete that process.
Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Do we need to sign it?
We're going to.
Okay. So moved.
Do I have a second? So a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned at 5:45. Thank you, everybody. Dave, thanks for coming.
Who seconded that?